You're standing in the TV aisle comparing prices and specifications, thinking you found a great deal. The display looks impressive, the features seem competitive, and the price feels unbeatable. But that TV you're about to buy is engineered to fail right after the warranty expires. These brands use cheap panels and components designed to break within 3 years. They're selling picture quality while guaranteeing replacement purchases. Today, you're seeing the 8 TV brands to avoid completely in 2026. Coming at number 8, Vizio, where budget pricing guarantees premium problems. This looks like the safe middle ground between cheap and expensive. That's exactly why people get surprised. This brand built its reputation on value 5 years ago. That reputation is outdated now. Quality control collapsed across their entire lineup. The SmartCast interface lags constantly, crashes during normal use, and struggles with basic streaming apps. Firmware updates either don't arrive or break existing functionality when they do. Panel quality varies wildly across production runs. Some units display acceptable pictures, while others suffer from backlight bleeding, dead pixels, or color uniformity problems straight out of the box. You're gambling every time you buy Vizio. Panels fail at alarming rates after just 2 to 3 years of normal use. Owners report vertical lines appearing across screens, entire sections going dark permanently, or displays dying completely without warning. These aren't isolated incidents. They're consistent patterns visible across owner reports and repair data nationwide. Customer service is notoriously difficult when problems occur. Warranty claims get denied over technicalities buried in fine print. Getting any resolution requires persistence that shouldn't be necessary for obvious defects. Low price up front, but expect high replacement costs within 3 years of moderate use. This brand markets value, but delivers frequent replacements instead. The next brand floods stores with specs that look competitive on paper, but reality tells a different story. At number 7, Hisense. The real problems don't show up until after purchase. This Chinese manufacturer advertises 4K resolution, HDR support, and gaming features at prices that seem impossible to match. But specifications on paper and actual performance are completely different things. The gap between marketing promises and delivered quality is enormous. Panel quality varies wildly between individual units from the same production batch and model number. 2 identical models purchased the same day can perform completely differently in your home. Some displays look acceptable, while others suffer from terrible backlight uniformity, severe clouding in dark scenes, or color accuracy problems. You're rolling dice with every Hisense purchase, hoping for a good unit. The operating system is sluggish and frustrating regardless of which platform they use. Whether Android TV, Google TV, or their proprietary system, performance is consistently poor across models. Apps take forever to load. Navigation lags noticeably with every button press. Longevity is the biggest concern with Hisense ownership. Panels fail within 3 to 5 years of moderate use. Power supply boards die without warning. Backlight systems develop issues that make screens unusable. These aren't rare occurrences. They're predictable failures resulting from using cheap components throughout. Repair technicians recognize common Hisense failure modes immediately. Aggressive pricing delivers aggressive failure rates. Expect replacements within 3 to 4 years consistently. Whether this works depends entirely on your tolerance for early replacement, but this next brand takes bottom-tier quality to another level entirely. Sliding in at number 6, Insignia. This brand's entire purpose contradicts long-term thinking. Best Buy's house brand exists for one reason: hitting the absolute lowest price point possible in every screen size category. No engineering pride, no durability goals, no quality standards, just cheap components assembled into something that technically displays pictures until it doesn't anymore. Best Buy positions these as entry-level options for budget-conscious buyers, but entry level shouldn't mean guaranteed failure within years. Panels are bottom-tier quality sourced from discount suppliers nobody else wants. Picture quality is poor, with washed-out colors that look faded, terrible contrast that makes everything look flat, and viewing angles so narrow that images degrade dramatically if you're not sitting directly centered in front of the screen. Move 15 degrees off-center, and color accuracy collapses entirely, making images look washed out or tinted. These are panels premium brands reject during quality inspections for visible defects. Manufacturing defects that disqualify panels for quality brands end up in Insignia TVs instead. They're buying components other manufacturers won't use. Smart TV features barely function even when brand new. The Fire TV interface that many models use is slow and buggy on this inadequate, cheap hardware. Apps crash regularly during normal streaming stutters and buffers even with strong internet connections that work fine on other devices. Processors can't handle what the software demands from them. The frustration of daily use outweighs any purchase price savings quickly. Build quality is shockingly poor across all models they produce. Plastic construction feels flimsy and hollow. Stands are wobbly and unstable, making TVs rock with slight touches. Remote controls break within weeks of normal use. Every component screams temporary solution rather than durable appliance. Nothing about these TVs suggests they're built to last beyond warranty periods. Panel failures occur within 2 to 4 years, reliably and predictably. Backlights die, leaving screens dark. Power supplies fail completely, killing TVs. Screens develop lines or dead sections that spread over time. These aren't surprises or unlucky defects. They're predictable outcomes of using the cheapest components available anywhere. Repair shops see Insignia failures weekly. Best Buy's warranty support sounds convenient until you actually need it for repairs. Claims get denied frequently over fine print technicalities. Replacement units aren't always available in stock. Geek Squad protection plans have so many exclusions that the most common failures aren't actually covered. The fine print protects Best Buy's interests, not buyers. Audio is among the worst in the entire industry at any price point. Built-in speakers produce sound so poor that dialogue is incomprehensible at normal listening volumes. External speakers become mandatory immediately. Lowest price upfront means shortest lifespan overall. Mandatory external speakers and replacement within 4 years. Save longer rather than buy this and replace in 2 years. Up next, a familiar name appears on products that no longer match its reputation. Coming at number 5, Toshiba. This brand's reputation no longer matches what you're actually buying today. Toshiba sold their entire TV business to Hisense years ago in a licensing deal. The brand name now appears on TVs manufactured by companies with zero connection to Toshiba's original engineering legacy or quality standards. You're buying someone else's products with a Toshiba badge slapped on for brand recognition. That's all the Toshiba name means now. The engineering excellence that built Toshiba's reputation over decades no longer exists in these products at all. Quality control is non-existent across current models being sold under the Toshiba name. Panel quality varies wildly between units. Some work acceptably well, while others arrive defective or fail within months of purchase. There's no consistency because Toshiba doesn't manufacture or quality check anything anymore. The name is licensed to whoever wants to use it. Different manufacturers produce different models with no centralized oversight or standards. The Fire TV implementation on many current models is poorly optimized for the hardware. The interface lags constantly with every button press. Apps crash without warning during normal viewing. Streaming performance is inconsistent even with strong internet connections. Smart features become sources of constant frustration instead of convenience. The software experience is terrible because processing hardware is inadequate for demands. Audio quality is terrible on most models across the lineup. Built-in speakers produce thin, tinny sound with no bass response whatsoever. Dialogue is difficult to hear clearly even at high volumes. You'll need external speakers immediately after purchase, adding costs that eliminate any purchase price savings quickly. Customer support is fragmented and unhelpful when you need assistance. Toshiba doesn't actually make these TVs anymore. When you call for help, you're routed to whoever manufactured your specific model number. They might help, they might not. It's completely unpredictable. Support quality depends entirely on which manufacturer actually built your unit. The experience varies dramatically between buyers. Parts availability is problematic when repairs are needed after failures. Finding replacement components takes weeks because supply chains go through multiple companies. Meanwhile, your TV sits broken. Brand recognition tricks people into thinking they're getting quality based on Toshiba's historical reputation from decades ago. But that reputation is outdated. What you're buying is someone else's TV with a familiar name attached purely for marketing. Familiar brand name wrapping unfamiliar quality from unknown manufacturers. Research before buying to avoid disappointment. Research who actually made your model before trusting the badge. This is where your priorities start to matter more, especially with brands that perform differently across price tiers. Coming at number 4, TCL lower-end models. This only works if you stay in their mid-range tier or higher. TCL's higher-end models actually perform well and earn decent reliability ratings from reviewers, but their budget lines sacrifice quality aggressively to hit competitive price points. The results are predictably disappointing for buyers. The brand uses reputation earned by their premium models to sell budget units that don't deliver similar reliability or performance. The quality gap between their tiers is enormous and concerning. Panel quality on lower-end models is poor across the board. Backlight uniformity is terrible with visible clouding and bleeding that ruins dark scenes. Dark scenes show bright patches in corners and edges. Color accuracy is off, making images look unnatural. Viewing angles are narrow, degrading picture quality from the sides. These panels are what premium brands reject during quality control inspections. They're using components that failed inspection elsewhere and buying them cheap. The Roku platform runs slowly on cheap TCL hardware that can't keep up. Navigation lags noticeably with every button press. Apps take forever to load even with fast internet. Streaming stutters despite strong internet connections that work fine elsewhere. The interface that works smoothly on better hardware struggles here constantly. The cheap processors simply can't handle what the software demands from them. Build quality is noticeably cheaper on budget models compared to their premium line. Plastic construction feels flimsy and hollow. Stands wobble under the TV's weight during adjustment. Remote controls break within months of normal use. Every component throughout the TV communicates cost reduction, prioritized over durability. Materials feel temporary. Panel lifespan is concerning with budget TCL models. Failures within 3 to 5 years are common and well documented. Backlights fail, leaving screens dark. Power supplies die without warning. Screens develop issues that make them unusable for viewing. Owner reports and repair data confirm these patterns consistently across models. These aren't random failures. Service centers see predictable failure modes repeatedly. Customer service is inconsistent when problems develop after purchase. Some regions have responsive support, while others leave buyers waiting weeks for responses. Parts availability varies dramatically depending on your location. Support quality is a regional lottery. Gaming features on budget models don't deliver the promised performance from marketing. Input lag is higher than advertised specifications claim. Motion handling is poor during fast scenes. Console gaming suffers noticeably. Premium tier quality is solid, but budget models deliver questionable reliability. Stick to mid-range pricing. Buy their mid-range tier or skip the brand entirely. Have you been burned by a budget TV brand before? Which one failed and how? Share in the comments. Before we continue, if you want to avoid wasting money on TVs engineered to fail, hit subscribe and thank me later. Store brands get even worse when we look at Walmart Walmart's first offering. Sliding in at number 3, Element. Most people assume Walmart vets these products somehow. They don't. This brand exists in Walmart's electronics section, offering the cheapest possible TVs in every size category. Like Insignia at Best Buy, Element prioritizes hitting price points over building quality products. The business model is volume sales with planned short lifespans built in. They're not trying to build TVs that last years. They're building TVs that sell today. Manufacturing philosophy centers entirely on hitting price targets regardless of longevity consequences. Panels are absolute bottom-tier quality from the cheapest suppliers available anywhere. Picture quality is poor, with washed-out colors that look faded, terrible contrast ratios that make everything flat, and viewing angles so narrow, images degrade if you sit anywhere except dead center. Watching movies with family means people sitting on the sides see distorted colors and completely washed-out images. These are panels that failed quality checks for actual TV brands. Rejected components nobody else wants find homes in Element products. Smart features are nearly non-functional out of the box. The operating system lags constantly with every action. Apps crash regularly during basic streaming. Streaming performance is terrible even with excellent internet connections. Basic navigation through simple menus feels sluggish and frustrating. You'll want external streaming devices immediately after setup, adding costs that eliminate purchase price savings completely. Software performance is consistently poor across all models. Build quality is shockingly poor throughout every model. Plastic construction feels like it'll crack under normal handling. Stands are unstable and wobbly, making TVs rock. Remote controls break within weeks of normal use. Internal components make concerning noises during normal operation. Everything about the construction suggests it won't last beyond warranty. Audio is among the worst available at any price point. Tiny built-in speakers produce sound so poor that dialogue is completely incomprehensible at reasonable volumes. External audio becomes mandatory immediately after setup. You cannot watch content comfortably with these speakers. Panel failures occur within 2 to 3 years consistently across models. Backlights die, leaving screens dark. Power supplies fail completely. Screens develop lines or completely dead sections that spread. These aren't unlucky defects affecting some buyers. They're predictable outcomes of buying the cheapest components. Service centers confirm these patterns regularly. Customer support is virtually non-existent when problems occur. Element doesn't maintain proper service networks anywhere. Finding replacement parts or qualified repair shops is nearly impossible. After the return window closes, you're completely on your own. Temporary college dorm quality at disposable pricing. Expect complete failure within 3 years maximum. Expect replacement within 3 years of normal use. Walmart somehow manages to sell something even worse than Element. At number 2, On. That sounds minor at first, but this represents the absolute floor of TV manufacturing. On represents Walmart's attempt to undercut even their own Element brand on pricing. What you get are TVs built with components so cheap that failure isn't a possibility. It's a guarantee. These are TVs you buy when literally nothing else matters except paying the absolute minimum. They're not designed to last a full year of daily use. Engineering goal is minimum viable product at absolute minimum cost. Panel quality is the worst available anywhere. Colors are washed out beyond recognition. Contrast is non-existent. Black levels are gray. Dark movie scenes look like they're filmed in fog. Viewing angles make pictures unviewable from anywhere except directly centered. Motion handling is so poor that fast movement becomes a blurry mess. Sports and action movies are unwatchable. The viewing experience is consistently poor from every angle. Smart TV platforms are barely functional. Roku or Android TV interfaces lag so severely that navigation becomes torture. Apps crash constantly. Streaming buffers endlessly quality even with gigabit internet. The frustration of using these TVs daily exceeds any savings from purchase price. Basic functionality is compromised at the hardware level. Build quality is atrocious across every model produced. Plastic construction feels like it'll shatter if you look at it wrong. Stands wobble under the TV's meager weight. Remote controls break within days. Internal components make rattling noises straight out of the box. Physical construction is genuinely concerning. Quality control appears non-existent. Audio quality doesn't exist in any meaningful way. Speakers are so tiny and poorly positioned that dialogue is completely incomprehensible. You cannot use these TVs without external audio. That mandatory purchase eliminates any price advantage immediately. Panel lifespan averages 18 months to 2 years before catastrophic failures. Backlights die. Power supplies fail. Entire screens go dark permanently. These aren't occasional defects. They're consistent patterns across every ON model. There is no customer support infrastructure. Walmart doesn't service these beyond basic returns. After return windows close, you're completely on your own. Parts don't exist. Repair shops won't touch them. Rock-bottom pricing delivers rock-bottom quality across the board. Genuinely disposable electronics with predictable failures. These fail so predictably that budgeting for replacement is smarter than expecting reliability. But one brand manages to be even worse than this disaster. Coming at number 1, Sceptre. Everything about this brand screams avoid at all costs. Sceptre builds TVs sold through Amazon, Walmart, and discount retailers. They represent the absolute bottom of TV manufacturing. Everything about these products screams engineered failure and planned obsolescence. These aren't TVs designed with any expectation of long-term use. They're disposable electronics from day one. Manufacturing quality is the lowest in the industry. Panels use the cheapest technology available from rejected supplier batches. Picture quality is atrocious with terrible color accuracy, non-existent contrast, and viewing angles measured in single digits. Images degrade dramatically if you sit anywhere except perfectly centered. Colors shift completely with minor viewing angle changes. Picture quality is worse than decent computer monitors from 10 years ago. Visual fidelity is consistently terrible across all screen sizes. There is no smart TV functionality worth discussing. Interfaces are so slow and buggy that even basic menu navigation becomes frustrating. Apps crash constantly if they load at all. Streaming is impossible even with fast internet, because processing can't handle it. Smart features are marketing claims, not reality. Software performance is unusable at every level. Build quality is genuinely dangerous. Plastic construction so cheap it cracks during shipping. Stands that collapse under the TV's weight. Internal components that fail randomly, causing power issues or complete shutdowns. This is systematic use of the absolute cheapest materials possible. Safety concerns are real with these products. Physical integrity is questionable out of the box. Audio doesn't exist. Speakers are decorative. Sound output is so poor that nothing is understandable without external audio. You're buying a screen that requires immediate additional purchases to function at all. The speakers cannot reproduce dialogue even at maximum volume. Panel failures occur within 1 to 2 years. Not might occur, will occur. Backlights die. Power supplies fail. Entire screens go dark. This is documented across thousands of owner reports and represents expected behavior, not defects. Every Sceptre TV will fail quickly and completely. There is zero customer support available. Sceptre doesn't maintain service networks. Parts don't exist anywhere. Repair shops refuse these TVs because fixing them costs more than buying new budget options. When it breaks, it becomes trash. Absolute bottom quality across every metric. Suitable only for waiting rooms or garages where failure doesn't matter. Those 8 brands show what happens when companies prioritize profits over quality. Don't fall for cheap prices that guarantee expensive replacements every few years. Skip bottom-tier brands completely when shopping for TVs. Quality costs more upfront, but saves thousands long-term by avoiding constant replacement cycles. Which TV brand disappointed you most over time? And what would you do differently next time? Share your experience below.